Hi guys, my name is Isabella Greene. Very often people who come to me for sessions and experience the gifts that come through me, the energetics and the information, the ability to access Akashic records, what we call Akashic records, or read the information from the quantum field of information from their soul stream. All of the different things that I am able now to do, including entity removal work and interaction with different types of beings, all of that. People ask me, how did I develop these abilities? How did this happen, considering that I come from a super conservative, atheistic background where I was super analytical and very 3D, very left brain oriented person my whole life. However, my whole adult life, let's just say, I did have predisposition to metaphysical art and interest in that since I was a child, and had abilities since I was a child. But then when I was about 21 and I first came to the US, I made a conscious decision to shut that down because it was interfering with me fighting for survival. You have to focus to make a living in this country, and you have to be normal to be accepted and receive the jobs. And so I made a conscious choice to shut that down, and it seems like a lot of people that I work with did that, made the same choice along the way somewhere as well, and very often early childhood or teenage years and stuff. And so then they forget that they had it, and they come to me and ask me this question. So they want to know how I developed or reactivated my gifts. And here's what I can tell you. In 2010, when I was laid off from financial services industry, and I also realized that I was not going to take another financial services industry job, because the feeling right here was very strong that I was not born to work for anybody, or especially for making financial services industry rich, as I was being treated as just a number in the books. So that realization came first. Then I started seeking, then I started expanding, and then I moved to Sedona. And in Sedona in 2012, I decided that, okay, this is going to be my occupation. Healing work is going to be my occupation. This is my mission. This is my purpose. This is what I can do. This is what I'm able to bring forth. And I want to develop my gift as much as possible. I remember back in 2012 dreaming that I could do things that I can now. Actually, I couldn't even imagine I was going to be able to do things that I can do now. So what happened between 2012 and now 2018? First of all, my devotion to the past. It took me a couple of years of wobbling until in 2014 I discovered, well, I was meditating the entire time, but I was meditating every morning since 2010 pretty much. But in 2014 I discovered the nighttime meditations, pineal gland activated meditations through Dr. Joe Dispenza's work. Prior to that, I was also taking workshops and clearing work and working on myself and just basically rebuilding my whole state of being and my personality, my reality to fit this new state of being, the new occupation, the new embodiment, really embodying what you teach. I always believe that you have to really carry that forth. You have to be it, what you teach, and you have to live it. You have to experiment and learn on your own self to really be the true teacher, the true healer who can bring these things forth for other people. So in 2014, I discovered nighttime meditations through Dr. Joe Dispenza's work for the purpose of activating pineal gland function. And from that day on until summer of 2018, I meditated at night at around between 2:30 or 3:30 in the morning, every single night for 4 years pretty much. During that time, I discovered so much stuff. I learned so much stuff. The meditations were to really open up the pineal gland, to open up access to other realms, to become comfortable in leaving the body and coming back down here and interacting, bringing the information back and remembering it. All of that was practice. Also, a lot of healing took place in that space. When you're in that deep space of meditation, you are able to watch, observe your subconscious mind, work with your subconscious mind and assist you to clear the gunk. Every single day, we absorb so much stuff that blocks us. We really have no idea. Every image, every unpleasant thought, every unpleasant conversation, everything that disturbed you was unpleasant. Also the pleasant stuff doesn't interfere, but the unpleasant stuff, the drama, all of that is collected into the subconscious mind. And then it sits there and generates the magnet that attracts events in your reality, or generates your reality really. So I discovered that doing that clearing of the subconscious space every single night was very, very effective for me. And after once that was done, I would go out and interact on different levels and connect and practice being out of my body, practice doing that by choice. At this point, I am at a place where all I have to do is close my eyes, take a deep breath, and I'm out there. But it took me few years of really shaking the bars of my cage, to get there. And for the young ones, for the newbies, for the indigo children, for the teenagers, all of that is natural. They don't have to do this much meditation or work to get there. But as I was already programmed out of my abilities and blocked my abilities, I had to rebuild all of that back in. And I also was in a really dense environment in New York City, and I was also a heavy, hardcore partier, and the diet and the physical form, none of that was in alignment with the higher frequency or the high frequency reality. So, but I believe that the meditations and the self-healing work, and also the healing work that I did through Dr. Joe Dispenza's workshops and events, that assisted me tremendously in getting where I'm at right now. So on self-work, on clearing emotional trauma, not only that we collect all of the new information that matches the old information that all sits inside your own internal being, but we also carry so much stuff from birth, from pre-birth, from mom's pregnancy. Was mom depressed or sick or unhappy during pregnancy? You are carrying all of that. And so clearing these things, it doesn't stop. You just continue working on yourself. You get in a better place as you go. It kind of like happens layer after layer. Or level 1, like a video game, is done, then you go to level 2, then you go to level 3, and then all of a sudden you remember that there is more, and you discover there is more. You discover those things through patterns and events that keep happening in your life. And so I keep doing that. I've observed that when I clear the next level of traumatic experience that happened in my life, and there were really traumatic experiences, but there were also imprints, like from parents, what they going through when I was a child. All of that, we carry all of that in ourselves. We carry a lot of stuff in ourselves. So discovering that and moving through that, each layer gave me access to the next level of knowing of who I really am, and also abilities, access to abilities. So I cannot emphasize more how important self-work is. how important it is to do the healing, the clearing of the internal wiring that has been messed up. So if we're older than 3, we need that. Especially the ones who've been through a long life of all kinds of experiences. Then we have a vessel, we have a physical form, right? Well, before the vessel, we have the thinking process too. Focusing positively, polarizing positively. Every single day we have equal amount, at the beginning of this journey, equal amount of pleasant and unpleasant. Very often more unpleasant, but at least there's something always pleasant in the day. Focus on that. Then it starts going 50-50. Then it starts going that, the negative starts getting smaller and smaller. The negative percentage of experiences per day is smaller and smaller, and then you're in the good. You're in the joy. Inspired action. Doing stuff that makes you happy, that feels good to you. Of course, yeah, if you have a 9-to-5 job and you hate it, yeah, it's kind of hard, but there's times in between, there are lunch hours, there are breaks, there are moments before and after work. You can focus positively, and please do focus positively during your job. It's going to make a whole experience different for you. And if you're transitioning into the path of the light worker, it's good to start somewhere. Polarizing positively, thinking good thoughts, mind control, meaning stop listening to songs about heartbreak, sadness, disappointment, awfulness, awful lyrics in the music that's full of violence, watching the movies that make you cry for hours, or watching the violence that is so disturbing that you can't sleep. Stop. So that's a part of that reality. That's the part of creating your new reality. Mind control is very much a part of that. We have to train ourselves to polarize positively if it's not a natural thing for us. So I worked on that as well. And I used to love a melodrama and the drama and the pain and oh my God, and then the self-pity and all of that was all there. I'm a poster child for everything that could have happened to a person and the negative reality and how much pain you can endure. But hey, you move through this. You move through this, your abilities come online. The more you clear, the more you receive, because it's energetics, you clear the baggage and you have room to receive positive energetics. Then the vessel. I am not a vegetarian, I'm not a vegan. I was a vegetarian for a number of years, however. Back in New York, I started from dropping red meat, and then I was 100% vegetarian for probably 5 years, maybe a little longer. But 2014, by the way, or maybe a little earlier, 2013 here, when I discovered these meditations and I observed that, I went back to eating meat and I'm fine. Of course, farm to table, humane, all of that for sure, and organic as much as possible. I do not eat anything that's non-organic when it comes to meat, for sure. There's absolutely no way I'm going to ingest the non-organic conventional produce of any sort. I eat dairy, always did, always loved my cheese and yogurt, and I still eat that, and it has not impaired me in any way. I have a belief, and I have observed from working with different spirits, that spirits of animals reincarnate and depart the same way as human spirits. So when you're eating flesh of a departed soul, all you're receiving, that is a low frequency structure there, but you are receiving the energy of the cells that are constituting that leftover from the soul, whatever it is, just the physical. That's why it doesn't give you this energetic uplift as much as the vegan food does, or vegetarian food does, or the plants do, because plants still have their soul. You ingest in the energy of the soul of the plants when you eat your salad. But when you eat in meat, it's just the cells and the texture, the structure. The soul is gone. The soul is departed. So does not interfere with me. I mostly eating vegetarian, but I do eat meat probably once a week, maybe once every 10 days nowadays. I eat fish, that's fine, but it's all of that is in the conscious realm, meaning biologically clear or organic, farm to table, humane, all of that. So I'm paying attention to this. Clean diet. Fruits and vegetables as much as possible, yes, for sure. That's mostly what I eat, aside from what I just mentioned once in a while. Developed, completely lost interest in sugar. Sugar is addictive. So as you teach yourself to not eat sugar, you have to overcome that, and then you don't crave it. Now if I take a piece of conventional anything, cake, candy, oh my God, it's like burning, it burns my mouth. Ooh, I can't even, it's awful, you know. So sugar blocks you. So get rid of sugar. Caffeine, I don't do coffee for a number of reasons. It's really it's an irritant for your internal organs, for your liver, for this and that. And so I just don't like coffee anymore. I made an effort to not do coffee. I take tea. I take caffeine with tea. So that's, you know, that's something that I do. Clean water is super important. Get rid of fluoride. You need that pineal gland to function well. So whatever it takes, go to the water store. Clean water, high frequency food, and I do not take any alcohol. The end of 2013 was the last time I had like a sip of champagne, and I regretted it because alcohol makes you happy when you're in a really low frequency. Alcohol is a downer. It drops your frequency. It floors you energetically. So if you are working on raising the frequency to reach out to your abilities, alcohol is a no in no amounts. That's what I believe. So yeah, I observed in 2013 already that, you know, it doesn't make me happy. It makes me very uncomfortable. I felt like all my joy was gone out of me when I had that champagne for New Year's, and I was like, that's it, I'm done. And you stop craving it, I promise. It's the same thing as with sugar. You overcome that moment when you realize, you know, I don't want it, and that's it. You no longer crave it. I don't do any drugs. I don't do any mind-expanding substances. I don't smoke weed. I don't do anything that is considered medicinal plants, because I know that constitutes the ceiling there as well for you. Because these plants operate on astral, low astral, and animal spirit and plant spirit level. If you are reaching out for the higher dimensional stuff, you know, you can't pass that where the spirits stop you is where you're going to be able to go. Then you're going to start looping, and you stop developing emotionally. There's a whole big deal here. So I don't partake in any of that. Basically, taking care of your physical frequency, working out, interacting with nature. I spend a lot of time in nature, just staring at the sky, observing the stars, or watching the clouds move, sunrise, sunset. I finally managed to enjoy the early rises and early to bed, early to rise. That was never my thing before, but I observed that I feel better, that my frequency is higher, that I'm more full of life when I do that. So now that's my reality as well. And then of course love. Focusing on love, sharing love, opening your heart, what makes you happy, what makes you joyful. It doesn't have to be a person. It can be I don't know, your birds outside your window. It could be flowers, it could be plants in your house, it could be your favorite pillow, it could be anything. Waking up and pulling in that remembrance of joy, the guidance that we receive from higher realms over and over, that for as long as we're here as cosmic beings to do our work, we are to find the joyful experiences as humans. They say find the joy as in being human, so that you are not constantly complaining, standing on the balcony looking for the spacecraft out there. You know, you're already here, you're already incarnated, you're already going to be here for as long as you sign up for, which we don't know. You know, now a lot of people are departing because their projects are done or expired, or there are better projects elsewhere. So that is all happening, but I hope this gives you an idea. So let's just summarize here. Intention, focus, clean lifestyle, mind control, meditation, diet, exercise, taking care of the physical vessel, the mind, the thinking process, the state of being, focusing positively, focusing on love and joy and inspired action. This will take you into the beautiful realms that are available to you, because we'll have access. I'm not special, I just worked at it really hard, so I got there in more or less 4 years, and here I am with abilities that bring people to me from all over the world to do this work. Alright guys, thank you for listening today. I love you. If you'd like to have a session with me, you can reach me at isabellagreen.com. Please keep in mind that I am really busy. I'm booked a few months in advance, but send me a session request form and I will get back to you when I can to schedule an introductory interview. After that, we will have a session in perfect timing. I love you. Take care now. Namaste.